Okay, let's take a look at patterning in Minecraft. Minecraft works really, really well with patterning. And here we have a pattern that repeats twice. So talking to students about a pattern has to repeat. And then we have all the extensions we could do with this beyond the pattern itself. So what shape would come next if you were to repeat this pattern, and then asking them to change at least two attributes in the pattern. So do the same pattern but change two attributes. Students could make their own pattern and then switch with someone else. And changing as many attributes as possible and yet still keeping the actual root of the pattern is a really good practice, and it's easy to do quickly in Minecraft. So here I've got size, I've got number, I have got position. So there's lots of things happening in this pattern. So this is one example. I'll take you out of this and bring you over here and show you another example. So here's another pattern. And in this pattern, we can see there's something happening with the color of the blocks, but at the same time, there's also something happening with number. So we can, because we can see the blocks that are actually making these up, it's not just the length, it's the actual number. So then we can talk about how the numbers grow in this pattern. Talking about the numbers and how the numbers grow leads students to understand that there's a number pattern as well as a repeating pattern. Over here, we have some three-dimensional shapes. And again, students can figure out how many blocks are used to make up each one of these. And in doing so, they can then figure out, once again, what is the number pattern that occurs. If they're being successful with that, here would lie a real challenge for the students. And you could talk about this. So I tried to build a tree. And when we look at this tree, we have to look at what are the number of branches on the tree, and then what is the pattern that's happening. Now, I can scaffold this for students depending on their age, but if I start right from the beginning, then what I can look at is here, we start with one branch of the tree. If we move up a little bit, then there are two branches to the tree. If we move up a little bit further, we can see that there's three branches to the tree. And if we move up again, we see that it becomes five branches of the tree. And then we continue that to the last one here, which now has 8 branches to the tree. So in this way, the pattern is growing. So students then try to figure out what the pattern could be, and then they try to extend the pattern. And if you're familiar with Fibonacci's sequence, then you'll see that this tree is actually growing in that pattern. What we would talk about at this point, once I discover that, is that this shows up in nature in many places, and I would then try to have them replicate it, and another example in Minecraft, something from the natural world.